Hey YouTube, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a knife video for you, and today I want to talk with you about Kershaw. Now, I don't want to talk to you about just any old Kershaw. Specifically, I want to talk about the new for 2017 lineup. These were a bunch of knives that I specifically commented on in my SHOT Show video this year, saying that of all the companies out there, I was most impressed with the Kershaw lineup. And I wanted to follow up on that and give you some specifics. What are the top 5 knives that I'm most interested in that have really got me saying, yeah, they've done something really cool here. So the other thing I want to say before we get into this is that Kershaw is... they kind of have a reputation for, being the company we wait for. Every year they come out with some new models, and often those models are not available at retailers for some time. In fact, if you were waiting for the Induction, which was new from last year, it still isn't released yet. Anyway, without further ado, let's talk about the 5 Kershaws that have me the most excited, and they're definitely on my buy list. What I'd love to hear in the description box down below is which ones have made your list for this year, okay? So, by the way, just let me make this comment. This stuff that I've got on the table is just for something for you guys to look at. I don't have any Kershaws with me today. I think I have a couple at the house if I went and looked around. So this ZT is kind of standing in for... It's representing Kershaw, and then I've just got some other stuff here so that you're not staring at a black table. I will roll in pictures of the knives as we discuss them, beginning with the first one, the Deadline. So this one I am rather interested in because of the Wharncliffe blade and because of the interesting way that they've done the frame lock. There's actually an internal part of the frame that kind of folds in. Also, I'm interested because this is on KVT bearings. It's a flipper and it's a manual, so no speed safe, which is kind of nice. Now it is a little hefty at 4.3 ounces for its size, which is only about 7.5 inches, a little more than 7.5 inches. But I like the look of this knife. I like the Wharncliffe blade shape. I'm not sure how I feel about the coated blade, but generally those coatings are okay at least. So that's the first knife that I'm excited about, the Deadline. I look forward to picking that one up, and you should stick around. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and you'll see when I get to a full review on all of these. By the way, I do plan to pick up and review every one of the knives on this list. Number 2, the Natrix. Now, I'm not going to get into the controversy here around the Natrix. The 0777 was a really cool knife, highly sought after, still is highly sought after. And of course, there was some discussion of Microtech and Anthony Marfione and them fighting a little over that design. What I'm most interested though in is the fact that the 0770, the Zero Tolerance, has been a very popular knife. In fact, I think they released it in a limited edition this past year. And what's cool about this is the Natrix is going to be even lighter because they've gone with a G10 handle and a sub frame lock. This knife at 7.5 inches is only 2.9 ounces, so under 3 ounces for 7.5 inches, 3.25 inch blade. I think that's pretty cool. Now, I would have liked to see it in something other than 8CR13 MOV, especially would have loved to see it in 14C28N, but they didn't call and ask what steel they should make it in, otherwise I would have told them that. Anyway, the Natrix is one that just on its own merits, aside from the controversy, I'm pretty interested in. Next up, number 3, the Vetter. Now, this knife I'm interested in somewhat because of the CRKT Fossil, which I thought was a great knife. Actually, I still do think it's a great knife. The size is not quite where I'd like it to be, such as that's been the case with these first 3 knives. 3.25 inch blade is a little small for me, 7.5 inches overall. Again, 8CR13 MOV, and it's G10 over stainless steel, which kind of creates a cool look. It is a coated blade once again, and that brings its own challenges along, and 4.1 ounces, which is not bad for a steel framed knife. So yeah, definitely want to check out that one. I like the sort of upswept blade there. and it looks like some jimping in the right places. We'll see if it's uncomfortable because of that bit of a corner that exists right at where the blade and handle meet. But the Vetter is definitely on my list of Kershaws to pick up for this year. Next on the list, number 4, is one that looks pretty cool to me. I like it better than I can't remember which one last year. Maybe the CQC 9K I think was last year. This is the CQC 11K. And the design just looks a little more appealing. Yeah, the blade is kind of out there. And probably if in the actual Emerson, or if this was offered as a ZT, I probably wouldn't do it. But for the price point, this is probably going to come in at, around $40. A blade that's a little different, a little out there is worth a try. You're not losing out on a whole lot. 3.5-inch blade, 8.5 inches overall. Again, it's Chinese alphabet steel, HCR 13 MOV. 5.8 ounces is pretty hefty. So, obviously, if you've watched the channel, well, not as heavy as this, okay, so it's not the end of the world, but we'll have to see how that plays out in terms of weight to size. But CQC 11K looks pretty cool. There is another Emerson collab that might be worth checking out as well, but I'm not quite as excited about that one. And number 5, the number 5 best new Kershaw for 2017, the Flourish. 8.5 inches overall, 3.5-inch blade, G10 carbon fiber overlay. So a couple things there that are doing pretty good. It's still the same cheap steel, which is not great. It's still speed safe, which is not great. And of course, 5.3 ounces, which again is not great. But I do like the look. I like the satin and coated blade portions. And so I hope this blade turns out really good. It is a liner lock. I'm wondering if the locking mechanism on the induction is the reason it's not out, because this kind of reminds me of the induction, and maybe Kershaw's hoping we'll just forget about that knife. So there you go, guys. Those are my top 5 new Kershaws coming out in 2017. I am looking forward to them. Let me know what you're looking forward to in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We'll talk to you soon.